Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my new and old friends. Welcome. Let's talk about some alchemy, some spiritual alchemy. I'm Cindy Carter, an intuitive, an artist, an energy healer, and a spirit consultant. This series of alchemy podcasts each Sunday are my gift to you. It's just a way of bringing new ideas for transmuting the energy within and without, your consciousness having to do too much other than be compassionate with yourself. You're the one in charge of your life, and you hold the key to the divinity within you. And you can bring out the kinder versions of yourself. That's what alchemy is. I did just take a nice break from the podcast to travel and teach my holographic healing workshop in several different locations in Oregon and Nevada. That was a lot of fun. I met some really awesome people. It went so well that they've asked me to come back. So I'm going to be teaching holographic healing and alchemy classes in Portland in September. So if you'll just watch my website for that. I'll also be holding workshops in my current home place, Asheville, North Carolina. It's a powerful workshop that anyone really can take. Either you're a newbie to the healing arts, but you can also be a licensed professional and get a lot out of this. It really helps you assist your people or your friends or even yourself. That's the main idea of this, is assisting yourself with the energy around your body and within your mind. This is a kind of a next level advanced modality of aligning the energy fields of the body in a really compassionate way. I hope you might look into coming to one of my 2-day workshops. Just look on my website for that information. But today, we're going to dive a little bit into the expansive view of universality. I can hear some of you saying, what the heck is that? Well, it's the view of your life, an expansive view of your life. It's the view of your perceptions. It's the view that narrates the theme and the tendencies that you live by. It's a spiritual view, it might be how you're witnessing your divinity, and then how far into the octaves and dimensions can you take that view and actually bring that witness and that view here to Earth with conscious awareness of a larger view of life, a wider scope to view from. It's the universal view. It's a higher aspect of witnessing the world. It's a higher road of perception, perhaps. It's like the grand elder of witnessing, viewing from the vista. And when a grand elder views from the vista, they see all of it. They see everything that's happening. They don't miss too much. A universal view might be inclusive of all views, but they'll have a truth that goes beyond any time or space. Universality can be viewed kind of like a 360-degree peripheral view of life. It can be an earthly view of life. It might be from a really grounded standpoint of what you see is what you get. Or it could be a galactic view of life, which would be an understanding that you're not alone and that you've held other lives on other planets and you might have memory of those. A cosmic view of life would be like a view from an angelic or higher vibration from the cosmos, full of compassion. Not empathy, not victimhood, but a cosmic view. So then there's the universal view, which incorporates all of those, earthly, galactic, cosmic. It incorporates all the stuff within that, from the earthly grid of the world to the manipulated matrix of the life, the strife and death, the magic of the galaxies, the wonder of the angelics, the reverence of the divinity. All wrapped up together in this expansive view of universality. So what we're talking about is how you can view life, how you can view yourself in this life. What are we viewing? Your life. The life of the spirit in the body is what we should be concentrating on. Our own spirit, our own divinity, our own expressions of beauty and fulfillment of our heart. I hope that's what's happening right now in your concentration and focus. But other times people right now in their spirituality are coming into like this different view. Once they start accessing their multi-dimensions, they start hearing voices that might tell them they have these grand galactic missions. That's not what I'm talking about. When life becomes a bit more than just fulfilling your heart and being beautiful, you're kind of ingesting a view of many other scenarios and many other people and places and things that might be out of alignment with your spirit now. And it's kind of sending your frequencies into a plummet. And, it narrows the view of life. When we don't concentrate on our own spirit, our own divinity, we end up getting preoccupied with other energies, other ideas, other things. Maybe you're preoccupied with your spiritual perfection. I haven't even had time to answer all the emails from all the people that have had like meltdowns. I've tried to answer as many as I can. These people are preoccupied, completely preoccupied with other things other than the divinity. They're preoccupied with other people, their other lifetimes, the other traumas, their other tendencies. They might be preoccupied with family members or colleagues or, the annoying person next door. No matter what the source of your preoccupation, you might ask yourself, will this preoccupation allow me to see a more expansive view of my life? Probably not. It would need to have some peace when you don't see peace. That you might include some harmony when you haven't felt harmony, ever. This would be allowing a universal view that does accept peace, harmony, joy, freedom, reverence, honor, life, compassion. That's the view of yourself as sacred. That's the view of yourself as divine. In this body, right now, witnessing yourself as divine would be to hold yourself in high regard, to have a universal view of your life, to be most compassionate with the soul that chose this body, the soul that chose to witness so much strife on this earth. Have some compassion for yourself through this. It can broaden your view of life. Having compassion for yourself through all of this by viewing yourself as sacred, by broadening your view of life. Sacredness is not so elusive when you know that it lives and rides around in every cell of your body. That's what alchemy is. Unearth it. In any given moment's thought, pattern, unearth it. Expand the possibilities of flow and abundance and peace in the universal alignment with compassion for yourself by redirecting your mind, redirecting your thoughts. When you've witnessed the strife of others and the strife of yourself, let's say, you can choose to witness this from a future version of yourself, too, instead of the one that was in strife. Remember, time is bendable. It's mutable. There's past, present, and future all right now, all of it. What if the future version of you was to be accepted, to be allowed within you, to operate the witness from the divinity, the truth within you, not the fear or the program? You could witness from the strength of your future self, from the knowing and the wisdom of what has already occurred. and from the lessons that you might have learned from it. You just forgot. Remember, this is called the remembrance of your cells. Because we do want to get over the stuff that hurt us, the traumas. We want to move through it. Some of us do anyway. Some of us choose not to. Some of us choose to wallow in it because we don't have a clear view. The view is cloudy. It's not from the universal view of themselves. And it's calling your soul to align with the universal Christ consciousness fields. This is the universal view. If you can begin to view your life from universal views, from a higher aspect of kindness for your own journey, for respect for all your lifetimes, for honor of all your past lives, no matter how they turned out, even this one, honoring the life brings an expansive view of universality. If you truly honor the life you're leading, instead of complaining that life has screwed you up, you're the victim of such awful stuff, or you can't take another day of it, you could take a different perception of said life and all that it brought and all that was thrust upon you by changing the perception to universality, beyond the earthly dimension, beyond the galactic dimension, beyond the cosmic dimension, all of them at once. See through clear eyes. From the quantum aspects of your multidimensional selves. Remember, you're many beings from your past lives and current lives and future lives, and you're all, trying your best in human and semi-human bodies to figure it out. To have a view of life that kind of works for us, or not. Remember, all humans get to choose through the act of free will how they perceive life. Divine will shall be born of universal sources. Divine will can align a lifetime with its purity in the future, with its abundance and its clarity. These things are not elusive because of your status. They're not elusive because of your bloodline or your specialness or your imperfections or your fault. You're not the victim of the status or the program or the radionics unit. We become energetic victims of lack of clarity, of forgetting who we are as light and sound in a body, holding consciousness of many lifetimes that are all vying for space in the mind and space in the heart and space in your soul expression. I'm not just speaking to your ears. I'm speaking to your many multidimensional selves. Some hear me, some don't. Some parts of you hear what I'm saying, but other parts of you don't. There are so many versions of your body and your mind that are at work all at one time, beyond your awareness. Please understand that. But your truth and your understanding can come from the wisdom of all this remembering. That, hey, remember me, the wise part of yourself that doesn't hold the fear of the future. Remember this portion of yourself and allow that to hold a perception of your cranky neighbor or your really mean boss. Let yourself come into universal view. It's like the gathering of all your wisdom keepers, the gathering of all your elders, but see, they're all you, all asked to come around for a high meeting in the forest, in your heart space. And as they gather together for you, for your clarity, so that life becomes clearer for you, so you may act wiser and more kind to yourself and to others. Bring the universal view. Are you affected by the view of life that has you going like nowhere and doing nothing, not being inspired, not being happy, and you're like absolutely at the mercy of the Schumann resonance, and you're at the mercy of the chakras, and you're at the mercy of the astrology, and you're at the mercy of all these things, because that's what you've been taught. We're not doing that anymore. That's an old program of choosing to not be happy. Because once you have an awareness that that's a lower vibrating aspect of your awareness that really isn't serving you very well, then we have to broaden the view. Take in a higher aspect of your awareness and be able to witness all your craziness. That you're still here, all safe and sound. And that you have a future self that's been able to witness this with you. That you survived when you didn't think you could, but here you are, still affording yourself the victim status, or even a view of life that you're superior over others. That's going on right now. Either way, it's out of alignment with a universal view of self, with the spirit's accumulated knowledge moving through a Merkaba system. That's universal view. It's broader and more inclusive of all your perceptions. But here's the best part. You get to choose your final perception. So let's say you have many ideas and beliefs and contracts and agreements all centered around victimhood. And those ideas and thoughts and actions have now taken up a lot of space in your life. Like a higher percentage of your pie, let's say. So if the narrow view of victimhood is overridden by another view, say from a future self, that says, hey, just keep driving the car. It's just a lightning storm. You're going to be fine because I've already seen you drive through it and out to the other side, all is fine. This is the perception. This is the future self of you having a lot of powerful things to say to you if you can hear it, if you can consider it. When you check in, what would my higher self say? What would my future self say? This would be a universal view. This is how alchemy works. This is how consciousness works with you at the wheel. This is, some of you might think this is like boot camp, but it is. You got to boot camp all these ideas out of our heads. Don't serve us anymore. It's like you have several beings here on your behalf that are older, wiser, stronger. And they're all part of you and your past lives. And you could indeed allow this knowing and impart a feeling within you that you are the knowing. You are the vessel of divine energy that allows compassion to flow from its heart space, to flow to all the portions of itself, no matter where they may live. Changing the perceptions. Now, some of us are really stubborn and have to be shown several times in a row. I know I was. Or with big spiritual 2x4s to show us a broader view than our narrow little aspect that we're allowing in. Remember, I told you I'm talking to many of you. How much awareness do you have of how much information is actually coming into your body? It's a narrow aspect of our awareness. So let's ask for more awareness, but let's also ask for grace and ease as we change our perception of what the world is, of what role you hold here on the earth. And I'm not talking what savior are you here on the earth. We don't need any more saviors here, thank you. We need sovereign beings that can be autonomous in a compassion that changes the field around them, and the psychic influence of their being is felt in many dimensions when the universal view is accepted. Multi-dimensional portions of yourself may begin to start showing up, but you must remain the sovereign expression of the Bob or Susie or Joe that's in a body. The Rachel that's in a body. It's not here for a mission to save others. You're here on no mission at all. You're just here to progress the spirit which inhabits your body. to honor the past lives of yourself and to align your future with a quantum space that allows your wisdom and your truth to be activated in all spaces and all time. Your divine nature is made up of a bountiful love and a bountiful mind and a bountiful expression of consciousness that's just a big mishmash of you. So if you'll view yourself from a compassionate space, allow yourself to change what you see, change your perception of the need to do certain things, and to allow yourself to flourish without the missions of your earthly sources, of your societal sources, of your galactic sources. Let's allow a universality to move through our life in a conscious flow of divine spirit. That's service, not to humanity, but to yourself first. When you serve the self first, it serves all of humanity, as above, so below. That's quantum. Serve thyself and you serve the whole spirit. Serve thyself and you serve all of unity. Your spirit is part of the all. Quantum belief, universal view, expansive consciousness, high vibrational light, intelligent design. Beyond the earthly view, beyond the galactic view, beyond the cosmic view is the universal view. You can hold all of these views simultaneous. It's all about which view do you choose to activate in any given moment and why. To better the spirit or better the ego. This is the alchemy. This is the power of being the alchemist. Graceful thoughts and graceful actions and graceful movements allow your life to be fulfilling and respectful of the spirit within you. I do have a fast track to allow grace into your life. I hear from people all the time, like every week, that tell me that this MP3 download series is really helping to change their life in really rapid ways. It's an 11-day audio series called The Template of Grace. And it's just these short recordings that become an activation each day for 11 days. And it allows you to receive grace and activate grace in your life. You can find it on my website. It's just $33 US. But it can give you a really rapid start into higher awareness of your life. There's some other things on my website that I have a free ebook called Solene, the Ancient One. It's a compilation of channelings from what I call the Ancient One, which is a part of myself that was teaching me about sovereignty and immortality and ascension. You can look for upcoming events and workshops and online learning opportunities on my website. The link is below. I do look forward to our continued talks about alchemy, about remembering ourselves as wholeness, about expanding our being in quantum ways by stepping into an expansive view of universality. Many blessings.